back to the table. We haven't done a table talk in a while, guys, so I wanted to do a topic for today. We did the unboxing of the wireless speaker yesterday. So today, the subject for today is gonna be, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, good. I just have to make sure put my rings on and my necklace. Okay, so anyways, guys, I walked this morning. I took a nice little 4-hour walk, or 5 miles, whatever you want to call it. Can't wait to do some better walks soon with my aunties. Okay, guys, so I thought about something that we can talk about, guys, that I haven't talked about in a while, guys, that I just wanted to talk about really quick, because I actually think that I've never talked about this on my channel, but let me know if I've talked about this, guys. So we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about the goods and the bad things, the goods and the bads about love. Okay, so take it from someone who is young and is still going through love right now in his life, trying to figure out love. But at the same time, in my 31 years of life on this earth, I want to talk to you guys about love situations that I've been in, with friendships, with relationships, with family members, with just love in general, with everything that you guys are going to go through, because a lot of my audiences are kids and older people too. So even for the older people that might be, oh, I didn't look at it in that type of way, or I didn't think about it in that type of way, or they can be like, you're 100% right, and that is what I'm dealing with right now. If I'm 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90 years old, or 100 years old, whatever, because people live to be whatever age that God wants you to live for, or for as long as God wants you to live. So anyways, love really starts with you guys at a young age. When you meet your mother or your father, when you're first born, there's a connection there that is practically there the rest of your life, with when you first learn about love. Me being adopted, it took a while, because I was taken away from her when I was like 4 months old. Like, she gave birth to me, and then I stayed in a foster, like she like gave birth to me, and then they took me from her. Like, she didn't even but she named me, but then they took me from her and put me in a foster home. So I was in a foster home for I think for 4 months, and then I came to this family. So when I got to this family, I really didn't even know, understand what love was until I got to this family. So I had a connection to this family. Then I had my mother, my adopted mother, who was my real mother, and then my adopted father, who's my real father, and then my siblings, who are my real siblings, and then aunts and uncles and cousins and whatever, and grandparents, who to this day have never even really loved me on both sides, except my one grandmother on my father's side, who she loved me to death. We fought like crazy, but she still loved me to death. At the end of the day, I knew she loved me. On my mother's side, please, that woman didn't even want her to keep me. But I'm not bashing her or anything. I'm just telling you about love. So basically, with all that said and there were a lot of aunts and uncles too, who were just like, he has special needs, you should, get rid of him. But my mom loved me enough to just keep me. She's like, no, you're not going to tell me how to raise my child. God gave him to me. He's a gift from God. And she basically took me or basically raised me the way that she thought was best. And she did a good job at it. So then when you grow up, you have relationships with your siblings, right? I didn't get along with I got along with most of my siblings. I was going to say I didn't get along with all of them, but I really did get along with most of them. When I was younger, I was probably so annoying that they couldn't even stand me. They were just like, we're done. But as soon as my sisters moved out and got their own place and were living with one of their best friends, one of their coworkers, we were their shopping buddies. They would come and get us, on their off days. They would come and get us. They would come and get me and my little brother. We would go shopping with them, spend the weekends with them. All my friends thought that they were so pretty, and all my friends were like, oh my goodness, your sisters are so cool. They're mad awesome. So all my friends wanted to be at our house because my sisters would come over. And then when we moved closer to them on our way to move here to Florida, we lived right around the corner from them. So we were always doing house parties, and we were doing a lot of parties. We're not crazy parties. I mean just family parties, barbecues and people's birthday parties and surprise parties and graduation parties and whatever, anniversary parties. We were doing Christmas and New Year's and like whatever. And we didn't celebrate Halloween, so we would do harvest parties. So we would do a lot of like costume paint and stuff like that, and pumpkins and stuff like that. But my mom didn't believe in Halloween, so we didn't celebrate Halloween. But we would go to costume parties and stuff and do like stuff that was still celebrating God, but at the same time you were just having fun, like a pumpkin patch or a bob for apples or just different stuff that we would do. But anyways, so that was another form of a love. Then when I moved to Florida, no, back up. So my first person that I loved that was outside of my family was my first girlfriend. My first girlfriend's name was Caitlin. Caitlin and me dated. She was a senior, I was a freshman. We dated, and that was like my first real love relationship. And I love this girl to death. Like, it was so bad how much I loved her, right? And when we broke up, it wasn't that anyone cheated or did anything. It was just I was moving to Florida. We didn't want a far relationship. She graduated already. And yeah, I was still young. But she and me like really liked each other. We both were adopted. We understood that whole feeling abandoned issue. And then we broke up. That hurt my heart so bad because it was my first breakup ever at 15 years old. We moved to Florida. And then so then I had a lot of more like heartache because I had to leave like my best friend for my whole life. I had to leave my sisters behind, my brother behind. I had to leave my other friends. And so it was like a lot of heartache, and then moved to Florida and know nobody, like nobody except just my grandparents, my aunt, my uncle, and my cousins. That was it. Like that was the only people we knew. And it sucked. Like it was so bad. Like my heart was hurting. And I mean, I'm telling you to the point where I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to do anything except sit there and just think about like, wow, love sucks. Like it really sucked. And then I got involved in the youth group, like I told you guys, fell in love with everybody at the youth group because I have this heart where I fall in love with everybody no matter what their situation is. I don't care what your past is. If you treat me right and I care for you, then that's all that matters. My loyalty is to you 100%. But these people were treating me like crap. And it was at a church of all places, but I was being treated such like a dog, being lied to, being abused. Like there was so much stuff that was happening, and people were just like, wake up, Matthew, wake up. Like, do you not see it? And like, again, I told you guys about that friendship with Brett. Our friendship was so toxic. Like there were so many times that we were like at each other's neck, like we hated each other. But then there were moments that we were like best friends and we were close and it was like everything mattered to us. And then when we finally were like, just like, that went on pretty much the whole time until like, oh God, until like 2012. So it went from like 2005 to 2012 was like such a like toxic friendship that was just like when 2012 hit, it was like we went our separate ways and we were just like done. Like to this day, at the end of the day, if something happened, we both would be there for each other. Like that's the type of friendship we have, but we just don't see each other. But I remember my first love after Caitlin was my ex-girlfriend that I've always talked about, Corey. I love this girl to death again. And I told myself I would never fall in love again like that. And when someone is doing such viral things to you, like they're just being such a, like they're not loving you and they're not caring about you and they're not holding you and they're not telling you they love you. They're not wanting to hold hands. They're not wanting to give you a goodnight kiss or something like that. And they're not even telling people that you're dating. Like that first 2 years that we were together, she never told anybody that I was her boyfriend. It was always like, oh, here's my friend Matt, da 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 da. And at this time, I'm taking care of the baby. I'm changing the diapers. I'm buying the food. I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm still just the friend. Okay, cool. But I'm telling everybody that this is my girlfriend. I'm putting it on all social media. Facebook was big at the time. I'm putting it all on Facebook. I should have been doing YouTube. Like by the 5th year of dating, then she finally told people that I was her boyfriend. Finally. By that time, I was 100% in for like the long haul. Like by 2012, I was ready for us to get married. I was ready to get engaged. We were looking at wedding dresses for her that were cheap, that were like $250 or something. Like she didn't want to go all out because this would have been her third marriage. Would have been my first marriage. And I was willing to throw away everything, benefits, medical, everything for this girl. Everything. my family, friendships, almost lost Jama over her. Um, Lots of stuff. Like I truly, 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 truly loved her. And then at the end of the day, if something happened to her, I don't know if I would be there. I probably would because that's my personality. And even though maybe she wouldn't want me to be there and her new man might be there or whatever, but we were best friends first. Before we ever even dated, we were best friends first. And we loved each other first as just best friends. And then there was the connection that we were like, we can't fight this connection anymore. And we're like, well, why not? Let's try it, you know? And it was the family that I wanted. She cooked, she cleaned. Not that that was what I wanted, but that's just the type of wife that she would have been. And the kid was already there, and I was happy, and we would have made a gorgeous daughter. But then things happened, you know, she wasn't happy. So she went somewhere else and got happy. She wasn't satisfied. So she just was like, all right, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do drugs, and this is going to make me happy. But again, with love, you can't change somebody. You cannot change someone's opinion about their self. You can love a person till you're dead, and that still doesn't mean that that person is going to change. If they don't love their self, if they don't love what's in here, they're not going to change. Like, they have to love what's in here. So when I went through my whole heartache, when I broke up with her finally, because the doctor was like, you need to break up with her. And that was almost 7 years ago. That was 2015. So I don't know how many years ago that was. But, because I met her in 2008. We dated from 2008 all the way until 2015. So you guys can do the math right there. Her son was like 7 when I left. So I think it's about 7 years. Because he was like brand new when I came. Or she just had him like literally when I met her. And then I was there until he was 7. And now he's like 11 or something. So if I did the math right. I hope I did the math right. But when that heartache ended, still a little brokenhearted about it. I have not dated anybody. Well, I dated this one girl named Jessica. Not Jessica. No. I dated this one girl named Ashley. Jessica and Ashley, they just sound so close. I dated this one girl named Ashley, like for, I want to say 6 months after I left Corey. And we met on Plenty of Fish, a dating app. And she lived right here. Not Ashley. Rachel. I dated Rachel. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Rachel. I don't think Rachel watches my YouTube videos, but anyways. I dated Rachel. We met on Plenty of Fish. She lived right down the street from me. She was going to school to be a nurse. And she was working at Universal. So we dated for a little bit. And then her baby daddy came back, or her ex-boyfriend came back in the picture. So I let her go to date him because I was like, I'm not doing that. If you're not happy, we've only been together for 6 months. You've known him since high school, date him. So we just stayed friends. And then since Rachel, I haven't dated anybody. So I haven't dated really anybody since 2015 because that was still in 2015. We broke up in April, me and Corey, and then I dated Rachel in like August or something. So we dated into 2016, but that was it. So I haven't dated anyone technically since 2016. And yeah, love is gonna be hard. Like, it's really gonna be hard for me. I'm not crying. I'm just wiping my nose. It's pathetic, but it's gonna be hard for me to like trust again. Like, that's gonna be my biggest thing right now is just trusting because I don't want to get hurt. One. And I don't want to hurt anybody either. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I don't want to hurt somebody, you know? I don't want someone to be like, not that I would. Like, I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. And I don't put my hands on women ever. Never have and never will. And that's pretty much what a lot of women look for. They look for a good guy, loves people, loves me, wants children one day, and wants to get married one day. And yes, I want children. Yes, I want to get married one day. And yes, I love God. And yes, I will love you no matter what. Like, when I give you my heart, I'm all in. But you got to be all in too. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, if I'm all in, you got to be all in too. But love is hard. I feel like I've done this video. I don't know. But anyways, love is hard because you don't know how much to give to yourself, to this person, or how little to give to this person. When I met Jama in 2014, I was so scared to let someone else in, right? Because I just lost like a lot of people in my life before that. I just lost like my best friend, who now I have back. And my family wasn't understanding stuff. Corey and me were in a hazy place, really. Um, I was very, very, very suicidal at that time. Like, really did not care about life, did not care about anything, was overweight. Just, I didn't care anymore. Like, I was so done with life at that time. And I remember, like, we were trying a new chapter. They were like, okay, we're going to get you a companion. And I was like, what is a companion? It sounds like a nanny or a babysitter. And they're like, no, 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 it's going to be fun. It's going to be someone that can like come and take you out and hang out with you and whatever. And I'm like, that sounds like a nanny. That sounds like whatever. And they're like, no, it's like, I'm like, it's like a nanny. And then they're like, yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. You're right. So I was like, whatever, we'll try it. You know, I was really angry about it because it's like, I don't need one. I don't need one. I don't need one. And then I told you guys the story. This, you know, Puerto Rican lady walked in, but I liked her, but she wasn't a good fit because she wanted someone else or whatever happened. I don't remember. Hold on, guys. Someone was calling me. So you probably lost a little bit of sound. I'm sorry. But anyways, she wasn't a good fit. So she left. And then Jama came in the door. And then Jama and me like hanged out for a long time. And then I told Jama, I was like, I'm scared to let you in because I feel like as soon as I let you in, you're going to walk out. Because every time I would let someone in, they would walk away. Every time I fell in love with this person, they would just break my heart and walk away. And at that time, I couldn't take any more heartache. And then Jama was like, really? Really? You're the one who's probably going to leave me. And I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, okay, watch. And then that was almost 9 years ago or 5 years ago or however long ago that was. I think it's been 5 years or 6 years. It might have been 6 years. But we're good. Like, I love Jama to death and she knows that. And I know she loves me to death. Like, you don't mess with me, because if you mess with me, you got to go through her. And she's like, she might be little, but you don't want to mess with her. I've seen her mad. You don't want to mess with her. And vice versa. I'm the same way. You don't mess with her. Shoot, you got a storm on your hands. And us together, when we're angry, oh my God, please watch out. Watch out. That's not a good storm. But I'm happy that I have someone that I know loves me. And then when I got John and Lily back, I knew that way there was true love too, because it was like we didn't talk to each other for 5 years. 5 years we didn't talk to each other, right? But at the end of the day, we knew each other's heart at the end of the day. Like, we knew that we needed that 5 years to take a break to find ourselves. Like, he needed to find himself. He needed to take care of his family and do what he got to go through and all this stuff and find what he needed to find. And then I needed to go through my heartache, my breakdown, my revamp of life. And just from him watching my Instagram and my TikTok and my YouTube and my Facebook, he was like, I think Matt changed. And then he called me and was like, did you change? Like, he messaged me first. I told you guys the story. He messaged me and he was just like, wow, you changed. And then we talked on the phone for like 3 or 4 hours, literally. And then he was like, let me talk to the wife. And then he's like, I'll come see you. And then they came and saw me. And it was like, you know, we just connected like where we were before in 2014 when we stopped being friends. Like, we literally were just like, boom. And he came right when I don't know if it was like right before surgery. He was there through that whole thing and then was there afterwards. Like, they 100% supported me through all that. And so it's really cool to see, like, love has a weird way of working. Like, you can lose a person unless they die. If they die, you still love them for the rest of your life. But if you lose someone in a fight or an argument, and God has a way to fix that relationship and bring it back together. So don't ever never say never, like Beeb said, never say never. You never know what can happen. Like right now I'm fighting with my cousin, right? Cool. I'm not really fighting with her. We're just not talking. But we've been here before. Like, it's not a big deal. I still love them. I will always love them. I had the best time. Yes, I said I didn't have the best time in that video, but I lied. I did have fun, guys. I did. I was just mad, and I apologized to them about all of that. Well, in that video, the one before I apologized. But I am apologizing again. Now, I don't blame any of you guys. I'm sorry. It's up to you guys if you want to forgive me. You don't have to. But I'm putting it out here since I put you guys out there. I'm putting it on social media. I apologize. But I'm not saying your names because I'm not trying to ruin your careers. Even though my YouTube channel is boring and slow or stupid or whatever you said. But I'm just remembering that. I'm not mad about it. I'm just putting it out there. But I still love you guys. Like, that's not going to change. You helped me with a lot. You got my tooth pulled. You did a lot of stuff for me. So I owe you a lot. And there's still love there. There always will be. And even with my brother, he hates my guts, but I still love him. You know, I always will love him. That's not a big deal. But what do you do when people turn their back on you? You just go in front of them and be like, hey, I'm here. But anyways, guys, that's my take on love. I know I'm rambling, but I just didn't know if I ever did a video like this. So that's my take on love, and let's see what you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys think about love in the comments below, and get ready for some new videos, guys. Some better videos coming. All right, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my TikTok, Max341989. Trying to get the little blue chip. And I'm trying to get this channel to 3K. Come on, guys. We're so close. We're so close. We're literally at 286 or something like that. So we're so close, guys. Like a few more subscribers and I'm at 3K. I'll be so happy. Even if it says 300K, I don't care. At least I made it to 3K. I'd be so happy. So even if you have to go get your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your brother, your sister's tablet and hit subscribe, you don't even have to watch my videos. Just hit subscribe and I'll be happy. Turn on the little notification bell. And I'm good. But I love you guys. Peace. That's what love is about. You gotta love. Baby.